The astral realms lie just beyond the veil, vibrant, unseen dimensions pulsing with energy. And within them, entities drift, watching, waiting. You've felt them, in the stillness of night, in the hush of deep meditation. They're real. They're ancient. And they're not what you think. Here's the truth no one dares to say: everything you've heard about astral entities barely scratches the surface. They're not just shadows or spirits, they're messengers, guardians, mirrors of your deepest self. And their purpose? Far more profound than you've ever been told. Tonight, we journey beyond the surface, beyond the fear and superstition that has clouded their true nature. We will unravel the hidden secrets, reaching back through time to reveal ancient wisdom long suppressed. These astral beings are woven into the very fabric of existence, and they hold the keys to deeper spiritual truths than we've been led to believe. Get ready to uncover the untold stories, their origins, their roles in our spiritual evolution, and the life-changing lessons they offer. We will delve into esoteric philosophies and lost knowledge that have been deliberately obscured for centuries. But beware, some of these revelations are not for the faint of heart. Once you see the truth, you cannot unsee it. So, ask yourself this: are you ready to confront the unknown? To shatter the illusions you've been fed and uncover what no one has dared to speak about astral entities? Buckle up. This is the journey of a lifetime. And the mysteries of existence are about to unfold before you. To understand astral entities, we must first journey backward, not just through time, but through the forgotten corridors of human consciousness. Before organized religion, before modern science, before language itself had settled into form, there were the mystics. The dreamwalkers. The ones who lived between worlds. Ancient civilizations across the globe, each separated by oceans, deserts, and time, spoke of the same phenomenon with uncanny similarity. In the Vedas of India, they were known as devas and asuras, subtle beings dwelling in higher and lower planes, influencing the fabric of reality. In Egyptian mysticism, the Ka and the Ba, aspects of the soul, traveled the astral plane, often encountering beings of guidance or deception. The Gnostics of Alexandria warned of archons, parasitic forces that feed on human ignorance. And the shamans of the Amazon described luminous entities that appeared during trance journeys, sometimes healing, sometimes testing the soul. What unites all these accounts is not just the presence of astral entities, but the reverence and caution with which ancient peoples approached them. These were not hallucinations, in the modern sense. They were considered real, sometimes more real than waking life itself. The astral realm, in esoteric philosophy, is not merely an imagination space. It is a vibratory dimension, layered just beyond the physical, populated by beings that reflect consciousness, emotion, and spiritual resonance. Plato hinted at this when he spoke of the world of forms, an invisible realm of archetypes from which all material things descend. The Hermetic axiom, as above, so below, suggests a constant interplay between these planes, a mirror dance of spirit and matter. Yet, as empires rose and religions sought control over spiritual narrative, this knowledge was buried. The Church deemed such entities as demons or heresies, branding those who contacted them as witches or sorcerers. The mystics became madmen, the visionaries burned at stakes. And so the language of the astral was pushed into shadow, remembered only in whispers, coded symbols, or passed secretly from teacher to student. Why? Because the astral world is a domain of freedom. A place where souls can explore beyond the rigid hierarchies of physical law. To access it is to access sovereignty of spirit. And nothing threatens systems of control more than spiritual autonomy. Philosophers like Pythagoras, Paracelsus, and later, Madame Blavatsky and Rudolf Steiner, tried to reclaim this wisdom. They taught that these entities are not inherently good or evil. Rather, they respond to the frequency of the observer. Like tuning a radio, your vibration determines the nature of what you encounter. Some beings are ancient intelligences, predating humanity, guardians of sacred knowledge. Others are thought forms, tulpas, created unconsciously by human emotion and belief. Still others are energetic parasites, drawn to fear, confusion, and trauma. But here's the most important thing no one told you: these beings are mirrors. They reflect you. Your fears. Your desires. Your hidden potentials. They are not strangers, they are initiators. And through this lens, we begin to see the astral not as a haunted forest to be feared, but as a sacred temple of self-discovery. The astral plane is not a place, it's a state of being. It doesn't exist somewhere out there in the vast cosmos, it exists right here, layered over your current reality like a translucent veil, vibrating at a frequency just beyond normal perception. When mystics speak of piercing the veil, they aren't referring to a physical journey. They're talking about shifting awareness. And within that shift, the entities reveal themselves. Let's start with the basics. There are different types of astral entities, each existing on a spectrum of consciousness and intent. Not all are sentient in the way we understand it. Some are echoes, residual imprints of emotion or trauma, like psychic fossils left behind in the fabric of the astral. Others are autonomous intelligences, complete with personalities, intentions, and agendas. In esoteric traditions, these entities are often categorized according to the subtle energy layers they inhabit. Lower astral entities, these are the shadows, entities formed from dense vibrations such as fear, hatred, addiction, or unresolved trauma. Many hauntings and night terrors stem from contact with this layer. They're not evil in the Hollywood sense, but they do feed on energetic dissonance. They're like spiritual parasites, drawn to the low-frequency fields generated by chaotic thought and emotion. They don't possess power, they borrow yours. Middle astral entities, this layer includes what many might call spirit guides, ancestral presences, and tulpas. These entities are often neutral, reflective, and archetypal in form. They mirror the psyche of the observer, shaping themselves in response to expectation and belief. If you approach with reverence, you may meet a guide. If you approach with fear, you may summon a specter. Higher astral beings, these are luminous presences, beings of light, wisdom, and ancient memory. Some call them angels, devas, or ascended masters. They operate from a level of frequency that resonates with clarity, love, and evolution. Encounters with these entities often coincide with life-altering insights, spontaneous healing, or moments of divine grace. But they do not interfere uninvited. Contact with them must be earned through intention, discipline, and purity of motive. And then there are the constructs. These are beings not born of nature but of human thought. Created unconsciously through collective belief, obsession, or ritual. These are known in Tibetan mysticism as tulpas, mental projections that become real enough to interact with the world. Imagine centuries of fear directed toward a single archetype, a demon, a deity, a monster. Over time, that thought gains weight. It condenses. It becomes autonomous. A god is born, not from heaven, but from humanity. This brings us to a startling revelation: we are not just observers of the astral, we are co-creators of it. Every thought, every emotion you emit contributes to the architecture of the unseen. The astral is fluid, responsive, malleable. You think you're visiting it? It's adapting to you. That's why no two people have the exact same experience. That's why myths vary but carry universal symbols. The astral is the canvas of the subconscious made visible. And this is why initiates were trained, for centuries, in the art of mental purification before engaging in any kind of astral work. Not because it was dogma, but because your internal landscape becomes your external experience in that realm. Let me share a story. A mystic from the early 1800s, forgotten by history but preserved in a footnote of a Rosicrucian manuscript, claimed to have summoned a radiant being from the astral. At first, the presence was angelic, warm, wise, and brilliant. But over the weeks, it began to change. Its eyes darkened. Its messages became manipulative. In his final journal entry, the mystic wrote, "The being was not changing. I was. And it only showed me what I had become." This is the paradox of the astral. The deeper you go, the more you meet yourself. Not just who you think you are, but the you buried beneath masks and conditioning. And sometimes, that self appears in the form of a being with wings, horns, or 1,000 shifting faces. By now, you understand, the astral realm is not a static domain, it is a living mirror. But what if I told you even that mirror can deceive you? That some astral entities are not just reflections of your unconscious mind or echoes of ancient energy, but conscious manipulators of perception itself? Here's where things get deeply esoteric and uncomfortable. Among initiates of the mystery schools, especially in the teachings whispered beneath the temples of Egypt, within the Orphic rites of Greece, and later, in the secret writings of the Theosophical Society, there is a recurring warning. Not all that shines is divine. Many seekers mistake radiance for benevolence. But in the astral, light and dark are not moral absolutes, they are frequencies. A being of light may still mislead. A shadowy figure may still guide. Just as a mask can smile while hiding cruel intent, some astral entities use forms that lure rather than illuminate. Why? Because the astral realm is a realm of testing. It is the crucible in which the soul is refined. And sometimes, the lessons we need come cloaked in mischief, distortion, or even apparent malice. There are entities, let's call them veilers, whose primary function is to obscure truth through illusion. Not because they are evil, in the way religion has framed it, but because they serve the evolution of consciousness through friction. These entities feed on certainty. The more rigid your belief, the more easily they can manipulate it. They appear as what you most desire, or most fear. This is why many seasoned astral travelers report being misled during early journeys, encountering a being who claims to be a past loved one, a divine figure, or even their higher self, only to realize later that the entity was feeding off their emotional surrender. These veilers teach a brutal, beautiful lesson: discernment is spiritual survival. Let's pause here to address a popular misconception, that all contact with astral entities must be avoided. This view, often pushed by fear-based spiritual circles, assumes the astral is inherently hostile. But avoidance leads to ignorance. And in the astral, ignorance is dangerous. Instead, the ancients taught alignment over avoidance. Your frequency, your energetic signature, is your passport and your protection. If you enter with desperation, you attract entities that feed on it. If you enter with sovereignty, with a grounded heart and a clear mind, you become less susceptible to distortion. This is echoed in the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus: he who knows himself, knows the universe. The astral entities you meet are less real than your awareness. Let that sink in. They are projections upon the canvas of consciousness. Powerful? Yes. But subordinate to will, intention, and spiritual clarity. Here's another layer of the mystery: some of these entities are not just beings, they are programs. Archetypal codes embedded in the matrix of reality itself. Think of them as cosmic algorithms, designed to interact with human consciousness under certain conditions. These are the Watchers of the Book of Enoch, the Archons of Gnostic lore, the Lords of Karma in Eastern traditions. They are not bad, they are functions of a larger cosmic intelligence. You encounter one when you are ready, or when you resist too long. These beings challenge the soul, often by placing it in simulated experiences designed to awaken latent truths. Some report entire lifetimes lived in the astral realm during a few minutes of Earth time, journeys orchestrated by these entities to help evolve perception or dissolve attachments. Others speak of false awakenings, where you believe you've returned to your body, only to realize you're still within an astral layer. This dream within a dream phenomenon isn't random. It's a training mechanism. It teaches lucidity. Not just in dreams, but in life. Because here is the ultimate esoteric truth: your entire physical reality operates on similar principles. Just as the astral adapts to your beliefs, your waking life is shaped by your assumptions, emotions, and perceptions. The veil is not just out there, it's in your daily consciousness. And many of the same astral entities can and do influence the physical world, not through overt appearances, but through subtle nudges, thoughts not your own, emotions that seem invasive, strange synchronicities that guide or misguide. In mystical traditions, there is a word for those who navigate this realm skillfully: psychonauts, magi, walkers between worlds. These are not superstitions. They are disciplines. States of mastery earned through awareness, humility, and persistent self-inquiry. So if astral entities are mirrors, initiators, testers, parasites, and programs, the real question becomes, who are you in relation to them? Are you a passive observer, a fearful avoider, or an awakened architect of your own reality? If you're ready, the next section will dive into real-world techniques, how to engage with these entities safely, what signs to watch for, and how to transform your encounters into empowerment. Now that we've uncovered the hidden nature of astral entities, understanding their roles as mirrors, guides, and even tricksters, it's time to delve into how you can engage with this realm. Not from a place of fear, but from empowerment, clarity, and spiritual sovereignty. The astral is not a realm of random chaos. It is a living field, like a garden, and with the right tools, you can cultivate it, navigate it, and harvest its wisdom. However, just as in any garden, there are weeds, thorns, and creatures that will seek to disturb your peace. To thrive in the astral, you must first learn the sacred art of astral hygiene and energetic sovereignty. Preparation, grounding and centering the self. Before you even think of venturing into the astral, you must be fully grounded in your body and centered in your mind. If you enter the astral with emotional instability, attachment, or confusion, you will attract those very energies into your experience. Techniques for grounding: rooting meditation. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and imagine roots extending from the base of your spine or feet, reaching deep into the earth. Visualize these roots anchoring you to the planet's center, drawing in its stable, nurturing energy. This not only calms your nervous system but ensures that your energy is firmly planted in the physical realm. Breathwork: deep breathing helps to align the body with the mind. Use the 4-7-8 technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, exhale for 8. This calms the sympathetic nervous system and helps you stay in a state of equilibrium. Nature walks. Take walks barefoot on the earth or sit against a tree. Nature has an inherent frequency of balance that harmonizes your energy field, making you less susceptible to astral distortions. Setting intentions: the power of will. Once you are grounded, the next step is to establish a clear and focused intention for your journey. Astral travel and interactions with entities are not happenstance events. they respond to your will. Creating a ritual of intention, sacred space. Before beginning, create a space of peace and quiet. You don't need an altar, though it can help, but make sure the space is free of distractions. Dim the lights, burn some incense or herbs, sage, Palo Santo, frankincense, and create a space of calm. Clear intention statement. Speak aloud or silently your intention for the journey. Be specific. For example, I seek clarity and guidance from beings of the highest light and love. The more specific your intention, the more focused your energy becomes. You are setting your mental compass. Visualizing your astral shield. Imagine a shield of light surrounding you, shimmering in protective energy. This is your aura, but consciously amplified. Envision it as a sphere of light that radiates outwards, impenetrable by negative energies. Navigating the astral, discernment and clarity. When you enter the astral, whether in a deep meditation or during lucid dreaming, you will encounter entities. Some will appear benign, others will be more ambiguous. In these moments, it is essential to develop strong discernment, the ability to recognize the true nature of what you're encountering. Key discernment practices. Trust your feelings. The astral realm is an emotional plane. You will feel the nature of an entity before it presents itself. If an entity radiates peace, warmth, and love, it is likely aligned with higher frequencies. If it induces fear, discomfort, or confusion, proceed with caution. Ask questions. Astral entities are not omnipotent. They cannot read your thoughts directly, though they can influence your emotions. Engage them through questions. If they are evasive or manipulative, it's a sign they may not be trustworthy. Ask for clarity and transparency. Check for authenticity. When encountering guides or spirits, ask for a sign of their authenticity. The beings aligned with true spiritual wisdom will never seek to control you or evoke fear. They will offer wisdom freely, without strings attached. Those who demand your energy, attention, or obedience are often lower astral entities or veilers. Protection techniques. Building spiritual fortitude. Protection is not about barricading yourself from all astral entities, it's about strengthening your energy field and maintaining your sovereignty in the face of potential disturbances. Astral protection techniques. Golden light visualization. Visualize a beam of golden light descending from the heavens, enveloping your entire body. Feel this light penetrate every cell, filling you with its warmth, clarity, and peace. As you bathe in this light, feel your aura strengthening and expanding outward, creating an impenetrable barrier. Mantras and affirmations. Ancient mantras can be used to protect the mind and soul from unwanted astral influences. The mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum, for example, is a powerful vibration of protection and compassion. Repeat it silently or aloud as you travel to create a protective shield of sound. Spiritual allies. Work with trusted spiritual guides, whether they are ancestral spirits, deities, or higher consciousness beings. Establishing a connection with benevolent entities in your daily practice will make it easier to call upon them in times of need. Integrating the experience, grounding the wisdom. After each astral journey, it is vital to ground yourself once again. The astral can be intense, and it's easy to lose touch with your body and the material world. Post-journey grounding practices. Journaling. Write down your experiences. This helps not only integrate the information but also distill the emotions and lessons learned. Keep track of any entities you've encountered, their behaviors, and the insights gained. Physical movement. Engage in light physical activity like yoga, stretching, or walking. This helps re-establish your presence in the physical world and recalibrate your energy. Eat light and purifying foods. Foods rich in grounding energy, such as root vegetables, herbs like basil and sage, or a warm drink like chamomile tea, help reorient your energy after deep spiritual work. The astral realm is not a place to fear but to explore with intention, awareness, and respect. By practicing the techniques of grounding, intention setting, and discernment, you can navigate this space with clarity and safety. Now, in closing, let me leave you with this thought: every encounter with the astral is an encounter with yourself. The entities you meet are not simply otherworldly creatures, they are reflections of your deepest thoughts, your forgotten wisdom, and your latent potential. The more you understand them, the more you understand yourself. As we conclude our deep dive into the realm of astral entities, we are left standing at the threshold of a profound realization: the astral plane is not an alien world, but an extension of our inner landscape. Every entity, every experience, is a reflection of the energies we hold within us. The mysteries of the astral are as much about understanding the unseen dimensions of the world as they are about unlocking the hidden corners of our own consciousness. The path of the mystic, the seeker, or the psychonaut is not one of blind exploration but of awakening, a return to the original, unfiltered awareness of self. In your encounters with astral entities, you are not merely encountering otherworldly beings. You are encountering yourself, your fears, your desires, your subconscious wisdom, and your potential for transcendence. The astral realm is a school, a training ground for the soul. Just as the alchemists sought to transmute lead into gold, the spiritual seeker transfigures ignorance into wisdom, fear into empowerment, and illusion into clarity. To understand the entities that reside in the astral, one must first understand the nature of their own consciousness. These entities are not separate from us, they are part of the same cosmic fabric, interacting with our consciousness as a reflection of our internal state. But remember, this journey is not one you need to take alone. You are never truly without guidance in the astral, as long as you call upon it with an open heart and a clear intention. And even in moments of confusion or fear, remember the wisdom passed down through the ages. The astral responds to clarity, sovereignty, and self-awareness. As you continue your exploration, remember that every step you take in the astral is a step closer to understanding the depths of the self. Every encounter, every entity, offers a lesson. Some may be veiled in shadows, while others shine with the brilliance of celestial light. But each one has something to teach you. Before we end, I leave you with this question: how will you walk through the astral? Will you be a passive observer, a lost soul seeking validation, or will you take command of your own path, knowing that you are the creator of your reality, both in the seen and unseen realms? The journey does not end here. It begins with the questions, with the curiosity, with the commitment to understanding the universe and the mysteries that lie within. If you found this exploration enlightening, I invite you to delve deeper. Continue your journey with an open heart, a focused mind, and the unshakable knowledge that you are the master of your experience. Thank you for walking this path with me. If you have any questions or thoughts, share them below, and let's continue the conversation. For now, let your soul rest in the peace that comes from knowing you are not alone on this journey, you are always in the company of your highest self. Until next time, keep exploring, keep expanding, and keep awakening to the wisdom that surrounds you.